From black and white films to near space missions, Barney wasn't always just the drunk at Moe's. Sometimes he was a full-on genius.
I'm a tanked-up loser? Is that how you see me?
These are the times Barney Gumble was actually a sober genius. Starting off, when Barney showed us he had brains under that buzz, it was a moment none of us saw coming. Mr. Plow, Season 4, Episode 9. Homer crashes both family cars during a heavy snowfall. To fix the damage, he buys a snowplow and starts a new business. He names it Mr. Plow, and he doesn't even tell Marge until it's done. To get customers, Homer makes a homemade ad with Bart and Lisa. It's cheap, but it works. He plows schools and stores and even gets a key to the city. Homer feels proud for once. Then Barney sees all the attention. Barney is at his lowest. He's working in a diaper outside a baby store, but Homer gives him a quick pep talk. Be the best damn Barney you can be.
You gotta pull up your diaper, get out there and be the best damn Barney you can be.
Here I come, world!
Barney turns things around fast. He gets a truck. He creates a brand. He calls himself the Plow King, but he doesn't stop there. He makes a pro-level ad and brings in Linda Ronstadt to sing his jingle.
When the snow starts falling, there's a man you should be calling.
Now everyone's calling Barney. He takes over the town. Even Adam West chooses him over Homer. And this time, Barney's clear-headed. He's smart, sharp, and focused. He's not the sloppy drunk from Moe's. He's thinking like a real businessman. Homer gets jealous and pulls a dirty trick. He calls Barney, pretending to be a rich customer stuck on Widow's Peak.
I was wondering if you could plow my driveway on top of Forbidding Widow's Peak.
Barney goes, but an avalanche traps him. Homer realizes he went too far.
Springfield's beloved Plow King is trapped.
This is all my fault. I've gotta save him.
He drives through dangerous cliffs to save his friend. It's risky, but he pulls it off and they make up after that. They even talk about working together, but the sun comes out and melts all the snow. Business is over, just like that. Still, Barney had his moment. He showed what he could do when he's sober. He ran a full business, stole the spotlight, and even became famous for a bit. For once, Barney wasn't the punchline. He was the one in control, and he crushed it. Let's talk about the film that made everyone cry and question reality. A Star is Burns, Season 6, Episode 18. This is the moment Barney shocked the whole town without even touching a beer.
That's according to a national survey ranking Springfield as the least popular city in America.
Springfield was rated the worst town in America. Last in culture, last in science, and probably last in basic hygiene. To fix that, Marge suggested a film festival. Everyone could make their own movie and try to impress the judges. People expected dumb entries and they got them. Mole Man's movie was just a football to the groin. Moe danced on the bar, and Mr. Burns, he made a huge mess with a space war and a courtroom scene. It made people want to leave the theater. Then came Barney. Yeah, that Barney. The guy who burps the alphabet and sleeps in the trash. But not this time. This time he was clear-eyed and focused. He made a black and white short film about his life, his addiction, and how it controlled him. He filmed it himself, wrote it himself, starred in it. It had no jokes and no cheap tricks, just raw honesty. Lisa played a scout who offered him a flower, and in the end, he walked away from it. People were stunned. The room went quiet, but then they clapped. It wasn't just a good film, it was the best one. Deep, emotional, and smart. Barney didn't need dialogue to explain his message. He used silence, pacing, and powerful visuals. That's not just talent, that's genius. Even Jay Sherman, the film critic, said it was the strongest entry and everyone agreed, except for Homer, who still voted for the football video. Barney didn't win because Mr. Burns bought the vote, but it didn't matter. He proved that behind the burps and the beer, there was a sharp, thoughtful mind. A real artist, a real genius, and he did it all without touching a drop. Now, here's a moment where Barney almost made it to space without a single drink. Deep Space Homer, Season 5, Episode 15.
Hi, Homer! Since they made me stop drinking, I've regained my balance and diction. Observe!
This is when Barney got sober, stayed sharp, and almost became a real astronaut. NASA was in trouble. Their TV ratings were worse than a test pattern and nobody cared about space anymore. So they decided to do something big and put a regular person on a mission.
People, we're in danger of losing our funding.
America isn't interested in space exploration anymore.
Someone the public could relate to. That's where Barney came in. At first, Homer called NASA to complain about their boring launches. He told them he was just a regular blue-collar guy who knew good TV. The next thing he knew, he and Barney were both picked as astronaut candidates. But here's where it gets wild. Barney took it seriously. He cleaned up, stopped drinking, shaved, and got into shape. The man who used to nap in gutters was suddenly quoting science terms and crushing fitness tests. He even sang opera in one scene.
I am the very model of a modern major general of information, vegetable, animal, and mineral.
Sober Barney was basically a different person. He outperformed Homer in everything. Strength tests, speed, even focus. NASA officials were impressed. One of them even said he was their top choice. Barney didn't just look sharp. He was sharp, and he picked up technical info fast. He understood the training, and he wasn't just trying. He was good. It looked like the spot on the shuttle was his. Then came the champagne. They popped bottles to celebrate the final phase of training. Barney grabbed a bottle, took one sip, and just like that, went back to being drunk Barney. He stole a jetpack, flew around screaming, and crashed into a marshmallow truck. That ended his shot at space. NASA picked Homer instead, even though he was clearly less qualified. But for a short time, Barney proved he had the brains, discipline, and drive. All it took was getting sober. He went from joke to frontrunner, from barfly to almost astronaut. And if he'd skipped that champagne, Barney would have been the first man from Moe's Tavern to make it to space. Moving on to the time when Barney wasn't just a background joke, he took the spotlight. Days of Wines and Dozes, Season 11, Episode 18. It started with a birthday tape at Moe's. Barney saw himself drunk, filthy, and crawling on the floor. Everyone laughed, but Barney didn't. For once, he looked at his life and saw the truth. And just like that, he quit drinking.
And I'm gonna quit drinking! No, I mean it! You won't see me here again, ever!
No long speeches, no drama, he just stopped. That move alone took guts. But what came next? That's where the genius kicked in. He replaced beer with black coffee and he joined AA. Then he took helicopter lessons. Not toy ones, but the real ones. Flying a helicopter isn't easy. You need control, timing, and total focus. Barney had all three. He passed every test. He showed up early, he listened, and he learned fast. Nobody expected this. Moe thought he would crash on day one. Homer said he'd be back on the bottle in a week. But Barney proved them wrong. Sober Barney was disciplined. He was smart. He was locked in. He wasn't just functioning, he was thriving. Then came the big test. Bart and Lisa got trapped in a forest fire. Trees were snapping and falling, and the kids were surrounded, coughing and scared. No way out on foot. Homer tried to fly the helicopter, but passed out after chugging warm beer. He drooled on the controls. Classic Homer. Then Barney stepped forward. He didn't shout. He didn't freeze. He just climbed into the chopper calm as ever, sober, steady, and locked in. The smoke was thick, but he flew low over burning trees, weaving through branches like he'd been doing it for years. When he spotted Bart and Lisa clinging to a rock, trapped, Barney hovered over them, keeping the chopper steady, and dropped the rescue cable. That wasn't luck, that was skill, that was genius. Barney didn't just save them. He flew like a pro, thought like a leader, and stayed cool under pressure. That's what geniuses do. After it all, he didn't brag, he didn't drink, he just sipped coffee and stayed focused. This wasn't just a clean version of Barney. This was a better version, a smarter version, a sober genius who flew into danger and came out the hero. Barney proved he's not a joke. He's got the brain, he's got the drive. He just needed the bottle out of the way. Forget the drunk act. Barney had pipes, and this time he used them. Homer's Barbershop Quartet, Season 5, Episode 1. This is when Barney turned a bar bathroom into a stage and proved he was way more than a mess. It started with Homer's flashback. He told the kids how he and 3 other guys formed a barbershop quartet. Wiggum, Skinner, Apu, and Homer sang together after work. They even got gigs, but when they wanted to go big, they had to drop Wiggum. The agent said he was too village people.
You've got it! All except that police officer. Ugh, 2 village people. You have to replace him.
Just leave it to me.
They needed a new member and someone with a better voice, someone who could really sing. That's when they heard something strange coming from Moe's bathroom. It was Barney. Barney was on the floor, probably half asleep, humming a song, but it wasn't some sloppy, drunk noise. It was beautiful, pure, powerful, the kind of voice that could fill a room without a mic.
Over in Killarney, so many years ago,
Such a voice.
Who is that?
me mother sang this song to me.
No one believed it at first, but once they asked him to sing for real, there was no denying it.
Barney, how'd you like to sing for our group?
Sure, why not?
Barney had the best voice of them all. It was deep, smooth, full of emotion, and everyone was stunned. The same guy that used to belch the alphabet could now bring grown men to tears with one note. He wasn't even trying. That's the genius of it. They made him a part of the band right away, and from there, the B Sharps took off.
Nah, we need a name that's witty at first, but that seems less funny each time you hear it.
How about the B Sharps?
They recorded albums, won a Grammy, performed on rooftops, and all of this was accompanied by Barney hitting perfect harmonies. He didn't just sing well, he showed up. He stayed in tune, he matched every note. Even his outfit looked like something John Lennon would wear. Hairy coat and small glasses. Barney was a full rock star. Yes, he eventually went back to drinking, but for that short golden window, he was the reason the group worked. He didn't learn to sing, he always had it. He just needed one moment to show the world. That's not talent. That's buried genius. The Last Temptation of Homer, Season 5, Episode 9. Even in a story about Homer, Barney found a way to steal the show for a second. The episode mainly follows Homer as he deals with a big problem. He gets a new co-worker named Mindy. She's smart, funny, and basically a female version of Homer. Naturally, he starts falling for her. Now, while Homer's having cartoon-level panic attacks over this, Barney slips in with a moment nobody expected. Homer is trying to stay focused at work. He's fighting his thoughts. Then, in walks Barney wearing a towel, singing the I Dream of Jeannie theme song, and he's floating. He waves and keeps singing, all peaceful and weirdly graceful, all while hovering like some kind of weird lounge angel. It wasn't just a gag, it was an example of Barney's rare awareness and how he knew how to use music. And somehow he became the voice of Homer's guilt. This wasn't classic Barney screaming nonsense or falling asleep at a pool table. This was subtle, smooth, almost poetic. And if we are being honest, it made perfect sense. Barney had no lines about beer, no hiccups, just a float, a song, and perfect timing. And in a room full of stressed out nuclear workers, Barney was the one guy with total control. And that's a wrap on the times Barney Gumble low-key proved he's not as useless as he looks. Whether he was saving the day, outsmarting presidents, or accidentally stumbling into genius, he definitely had his moments. If you like this breakdown, drop your thoughts in the comments and share with a fellow Simpsons fan. And of course, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next.